Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today, I'm in Moton, Berks County, and at LedgeRock Golf Club. LedgeRock, it is as beautiful as it is challenging, as unique as it is innovative. It's celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. Oh, and did I mention the golf course architect, Reese Jones? Coming up on this week's edition of Inside Golf from LedgeRock, we'll meet one of the founders, one of the visionaries for this beautiful venue. And we'll also introduce you to one of its prominent members. He's also won senior amateur championships around the world. His name is Chip Lutz. But right now, let me introduce you to Andy Miller. He is the Director of Instruction here at LedgeRock. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming, absolutely.
Like I said, it doesn't get any more beautiful, any more challenging than the place where you call home.
Yeah, I feel very lucky and fortunate to be able to teach here. It's such a serene, peaceful setting, as I'm sure you can see as you drive in the entranceway.
Yes, it is. It is probably, for golfers, heaven on earth. But you talked about training and instruction, and you have a nice little facility right on the grounds here to do just that.
It's a good spot. We call it the Learning Center, and we've got 3 bays in there, and we've got a private bay for instruction, so we can just go year-round with golf instruction. Let's
take a look at where Andy calls home here at LedgeRock. Andy, this is the Learning Center. This is your home, and it's state-of-the-art. You have bays for wintertime or protection from the sun during this hot time of the year, but this is the spot, right?
Oh, absolutely. This gets filled up year-round, and we've got heaters above every mat, so during the winter you can come out and hit some balls in the comfort of the Learning Center.
And it's high-tech.
Absolutely. We've got a launch monitor, we've got 3D motion analysis, pressure mat, anything you could find anywhere we have here.
And something else, when people are in between swings maybe, they can go and enjoy a little social time, both indoors and outdoors.
That's right. Yeah, the Learning Center actually, when it was initially designed, held our golf shop in it. So we've used it for a number of things over the years. We've got a nice patio with a fire pit on the opposite side that it's really become a good place to gather.
And a couple lessons with Andy, and you'll bring LedgeRock to its knees, I'm sure, right?
Right, absolutely.
One guy who tries to do that and succeeds frequently is our next guest, Chip Lutz. We'll be joined by Chip here at LedgeRock next on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf, presented by Destination Montco Golf, 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
The First Tee teaches you golf, but they also teach you life skills.
We learn things you can use everywhere, every day.
Like how to meet people you don't know. I'm Nicholas.
It comes in handy on your first day of school.
Or interviewing for a job.
Thank you. Some of the best golf lessons have very little to do with golf. The life skills young people learn at the First Tee stay with them long after they leave. Visit thefirsttee.org to learn more.
Hi, I'm Janie. Let's play some golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf today from LedgeRock, and our guest, probably one of the most preeminent members of LedgeRock, and for a long time a preeminent senior amateur player, not only in the U.S. but in the world, Chip Lutz. Chip, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us here at LedgeRock.
Thanks for coming out.
This is your home, right? You love this place.
Well, I don't own this place, but I've been a member here since the beginning.
Right.
And I'm a resident of the area, and I've had the great pleasure to be involved in the course from early on during the design phase, the construction, and then I was club president for the first 5 years. So after that time, I decided it was time to get to playing some more golf, and and got after the senior amateur tour, so to speak.
You've done pretty well with that, too. You are the defending U.S. Senior Amateur Champion. You won that down in South Jersey at Hidden Creek last year.
Correct.
You also won the Senior Amateur in Great Britain twice.
I did.
One of my favorite courses was one of the locales, Port Rush. Yeah.
Fabulous place.
Absolutely. It'll be hosting the Open Championship in 19, I think. Are you going to be invited back, do you think?
I would love to be there. It'd be a great opportunity to revisit.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, though, LedgeRock right now. What's some of your favorite things about LedgeRock?
I think LedgeRock, I was so excited when the early founders decided they were going to build a new golf course here in Berks County in Reading, but it was really a great opportunity to develop a new golf course and get involved in something new. And with Reese Jones at the wheel in terms of the design, I was really excited to find an opportunity to affiliate with a club that would have all the latest agronomy, great location and siting in terms of the property itself, and to have something to offer to our area that would be special and unique. And I was thrilled to get involved early on. It's been about 10 years since we're open already. It's hard to believe, but I'm so proud of the golf course and all the people here. It's just been a fabulous experience.
I'm familiar with Reese Jones and his design, and he must have looked at this property when it was just virgin woods, I guess. And I'm always amazed at what an architect like Reese and some of the other great ones that we know can do with a piece of land. And the topography here, Reese always said, I think, that you know, the more difficult the land is at times, the greater the result. And certainly I think LedgeRock's an example of that.
I too marvel at how Reese can go through, look at all the growth and underbrush and everything, and get a view and a sense for how to route a golf course, because it took a great deal of reflection and imagination to try to balance out the kind of property we've got here to come up with the masterpiece he did.
He sure did. We're standing right now in the middle of a par 5, number 13. And you know, the topography here, obviously, the changes in elevation from an elevated tee to a landing area, and then over a ravine and up the hill to the green. Is this one of your favorite
Absolutely.
holes?
The view from the tee is spectacular. We're standing right here in the fairway, looking up to the green complex with the learning center in the background.
People take advantage of that too, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. And
Let's talk about maybe some other holes that stick out for you. I'm sure all 18 do, but do you have any other favorites?
Well, I can't say the favorite for most people, because I'd say the most challenging one here is certainly 17. 17, you face a tremendous second shot up the hill, and it's a beautiful hole, especially when you get from the top and look down. It's really nice once you've successfully arrived up there to appreciate that you've gotten there.
Here, huh?
But it is a spectacular hole coming down the stretch. I think the finish here at LedgeRock is really strong, and that really will separate and have a decisive impact on a lot of matches coming down the stretch.
Talking about really strong, I want to talk about your game and your history a little bit. It began, as it does with a lot of great players, early in their lifetime thanks to their father. And your father was a special guy, a professional, who also kind of learned the game from a legend, Byron Nelson.
He did. We were really quite fortunate here in Reading and in the family to really have an affiliation with Byron and a great friendship with him as well. My dad learned from him as a young boy. He was probably 11, 12 years old at the outset, and then Byron was here in 1937 through 39 as the head pro at the Reading. So I've got great history, great memory with the game here in Berks County, and my dad was a professional for just about a year and a half, 2 years, and then came back to his amateur status and spent the rest of his career playing as an amateur, as I have my entire career. So it's been a great history and a great part of golf right here in Berks County.
And listen, thanks for having us. And you want to wish a special person who may be watching a happy birthday, because somebody in your family
My mom is going to be 90, and we're having a celebration. All the family's going to be here, and we're just so thrilled. My mom had just watched my first match, was the final match last year at Hidden Creek, and it made for such a special win for me, and we're just thrilled. We love you, Mom, so can't wait to celebrate your 90th with us.
Great ambassador for the game of golf, and especially for LedgeRock here in Berks County, Chip Lutz. Thanks again, Chip.
Thank you. Thanks, Harry.
The more rugged the site, the more spectacular the final result will be, and that's exactly what we're going to have here at LedgeRock.
Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, published by former Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, is everything you want in a publication catering to men's interest. Enjoy articles on politics, business, the mob, wine, food, fitness, and travel. Written by the likes of George Anastasia, Bill Lyon, Sam Carchidi, and Mike Kern. Want to grow your business? Ask for information on our Legacy and Chairman Clubs. They meet regularly and can be a valuable tool for your company. Subscriptions are only $20 a year for 6 issues. They're available at jerseymanmagazine.com.
The land is so diversified that you're going to have 18 really distinctively different golf holes because the topography is going to dictate a different type of hole in each instance. Whereas if you had a flat piece of ground, an architect has to work at really just changing the features to make them distinctive. Whereas here, the topography does that naturally because this routing is so well suited to this rugged piece of property.
Welcome back to Inside Golf, and one of the visionaries of LedgeRock is joining us now, Mr. John Broadbent. And John, first of all, congratulations on the anniversary, year number 10.
Thank you very much.
So this is a milestone year for you folks and your partners. You, as I said, were one of the men that had this vision of a golf course, and Reese Jones was hired on to design it for you. 10 years hence, is this what you had envisioned?
Well, it certainly came out to be something that we're very proud of. The property we knew was ideal for a golf course. It was going to be a spectacular layout. We just needed to find a designer who could take advantage of the characteristics of this land, and Reese did a superb job of that. So we're extremely proud of what he has designed for us here, and we're extremely proud of our team that has enabled us to keep this course in just outstanding condition, and it gets better and better every year.
Well, and it gets better and better just from looking around each hole. For someone that's never been here before, it's breathtaking. It really is. And you know, there's a lot of beautiful golf courses, but I can't imagine one in our area that is more beautiful than what you have here at LedgeRock.
Well, thank you very much for those compliments. We have a lot of elevation change on this course, and part of the course, as you can see from the trees around us, was built in a wooded area, and part of the course was built in what had been farmland. So we are taking advantage of the scenery in both of those types of terrain.
But you also have some holes with some spectacular contours and carries over a couple different creeks that meander through LedgeRock.
There are 4 of them that run through the course at various locations, and we have a number of bridges that we had to build in order to cross them. And there's a lot of balls in those waste areas.
None of yours, I hope, John.
Quite a few.
I hope that's not the case. Do you have any favorite holes, any favorite spots on the golf course?
Well, I have a number. Yeah, there are so many spectacular holes on this course. It's hard to pick a favorite. And when Reese Jones was asked the question by a reporter what hole he considered the signature hole, Reese's famous answer to that was, "There is none. This is a signature course." So I have a few favorite holes. I think number 5 is a particularly attractive golf hole. I think number 11 is a particularly attractive golf hole, and several others.
All right. Thanks, John, for having us. And congratulations on that 10-year anniversary.
Thank you very much for coming out.
You know, we talked a lot about the golf course. Number 17 was one of the holes that had special notice. And the director of golf instruction here at LedgeRock, Andy Miller, gives us another up-close look at number 17.
So here we are from the fairway on hole 17, and right now to the green from where I'm standing is about 205 yards. But as you can see, it's quite a bit uphill. Generally plays into the wind slightly as well. So this is probably the hardest golf shot that you're going to encounter during the day. Most people need to hit some kind of hybrid, long iron or fairway wood to a green that's above us. So we all know that's not the easiest shot to hit. And if we hit it a little short, it comes all the way back down that bank. So if you can hit it over the green, not the worst spot here. A lot of people would agree that this is definitely the most challenging hole on the golf course. So here we are on the 18th tee, and this is our very back tee. It's actually 649 yards from here, par 5. Can fly it all the way down there. It's not a reachable par 5 except for the really long hitters, but it's probably one of the more dramatic tee shots that you're going to see during the day. So now I'm down on one of our forward tee boxes here on hole 18, so it gives you a little bit better picture of what the hole actually looks like. It's kind of hard to tell from the top tee, but one of the things I like the most about LedgeRock Golf Club is the panoramic views. So I don't know if we can see all the way up in the distance. You can see our 9th green. If you look over here to the right, you can actually see our 15th green. So just some incredible views. Again, hole 18, from this tee, if you hit it far enough, you can carry that bunker, and the longer hitters can probably try to knock it on in too. But get a really good picture of our clubhouse in the background, and we've got a nice fire pit where people can sit out there and take a look at people putting on hole 18, and it's just a magnificent hole. One of the signature characteristics of our golf course is the large greens. So as you can see on our 18th green here, it's quite big, and that allows us to move the pin around and give you a number of different pin options every time you play the round. But also what it does is it allows us to make the greens a little bit faster than some of the golf courses with smaller greens. Because we're a modern golf course that was built 10 years ago, we built it with the green speeds of today in mind. It's one of the best spots on the golf course for people that want to kind of stand around and watch people finish their round, because you can come out here on our patio, get something to eat. We've got a gorgeous fire pit out there. So it's kind of a good spot if you want to just relax and take in the scenery and the panoramic views and watch people hole some putts.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with our teed off panel. Today we're back at the Valley Forge Casino Resort in King of Prussia. And today's panel includes Bob Shepard, noted Philadelphia area professional, and now he's better known for writing than he is for putting a club in his hand.
That's right.
Latest offering is The Dormy House. It's a novel about people like us, Bob, who just try to kick it around and talk to some, noted golfers of the past.
Of the past, exactly. Spirits of the game.
Good beach read this summer. Ken Dunnick, he spends his time publishing not one but 2 magazines, Philly Man and Jersey Man.
Just happen to have a couple right here, Harry, and you see our covers, the Comcast Sportsnet crew, and Jay Peterman from Seinfeld adorns the Philly Man covers.
How about that?
It's a good get for us.
Monthly publications. And from myphillygolf.com, he's been a writer as long as I can remember, Joe Logan.
It's the only skill I have.
Always writing about the game we all love, the game of golf. Gentlemen, and this is not just this year, we've seen it time after time after time, that the USGA tries to set up, in particular its US Open Championship, on the most difficult setting possible. I mean, the landing areas are this wide, literally. You have high rough and you have slick greens. We saw it at Oakmont again. Of course, it really doesn't need too much defense, Joe.
No.
But Mike Davis, the executive director, almost takes pride in seeing how far people can fall when it comes to a U.S. Open. Why is that?
Well, I'll tell you why, because what's the famous quote about the U.S. Open that somebody said, are you trying to humiliate the greatest players in the game? And they said, no, we're trying to identify the greatest players in the game. Right. Each of the 4 majors has a personality. The Masters, it's a birdie fest on Sunday. The British Open, it's the weather is always the story. The U.S. Open is a survival test. The winner is the guy who, at the end of the week, who has the least number of double bogeys and bogeys. And the USGA always says they don't want necessarily par to win, but it's rare that a big score under par wins.
Okay, so to try to identify the best golfer, but my money says sometimes that doesn't happen, Shep, you know? And, you know, maybe not recently. I mean, we've had some great winners of U.S. Opens, but we've also had some players of less caliber, guys like Lee Jansen back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s. And Andy North, they each won not 1, but 2 U.S. Opens. I mean, were they identified as the best golfers, maybe for 4 days or 1 day?
Right. Who was the one at Shinnecock? I'm just drawing a blank.
That was Corey Pavin, right?
Corey Pavin, there you go. Now he wasn't considered to be in the hunt.
Right.
And he just went up there and took the trophy home.
He had a 4-wood from about 160 yards.
Right.
No, I'm only kidding. A little longer than that, right?
That's right. But
the thing about those guys, though, they were par makers. They weren't birdie makers.
Right.
They were par makers. So they avoided the trouble,
right.
Ho-hum pars, and they won a couple Opens.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to avoid the trouble, but sometimes it's unavoidable, especially the way the game is played today with the bombers. And then if you get the greens at 14 on the stem, you make a mistake, even if you're the #1 golfer in the world, like we saw this year, it's going to cost you.
I played Oakmont once in my life, and it was the Monday morning after the last Open there in 2007. Wow. I walked off the course after 9 holes. It was 150 degrees at least. And if you hit your tee shot so much as a foot off the rough, you couldn't find it. You lay your bag down, you couldn't find your bag. And you had to hack out into the fairway with a wedge. Right. That was it. It was a stroke penalty to miss the fairway by that much. I said, this is not fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fun. And I guess that's what I'm saying. Do they want to make it fun, or do they want to make it, like I said, climbing Mount Everest, and may the strongest man survive?
We were at Shinnecock, and they had to close the course and water the green because it was turned into a billiard table. And the next week, or the next month, they were over at Muirfield playing. And they were interviewing the captain of the club about what they did to prep up for the Open. He said, we put grandstands so people would have a place to sit. But what'd you do to the course? He said, nothing. This is Muirfield. It doesn't need any prepping. And it was such an indirect insult on the USGA, I thought, because the USGA goes in there and sprinkles magic dust all over the place, you know?
But Harry, you talk about not only the rough, not only the speed of the greens, how about the length of the golf course? How about a 675-yard par 5? I mean,
but they're hitting 8-irons too.
It's incredible. I mean, obviously technology has changed the game, but the length accompanied with the rough and the greens make that unplayable for guys like us, I'm sure.
Yep.
Well, he talked about how there's a certain culture with the USGA, well, the Masters, and the Open Championship. What about the PGA of America? What's their niche?
Their niche is it's the ultimate tournament run by professionals, for professionals. And if you go back and look at the strongest fields in the history of golf, they are almost all PGA of America championships. Okay. The tour actually has a rating for all that stuff. And I remember at the Players Championship every year, they would pass out a list of the tournaments with the strongest fields, and it was always a PGA. Occasionally was a Players Championship, but usually the PGA.
And that's the feeling you get as a PGA pro?
Definitely, yeah. Well, you get that, then you have it's the 4 majors, and they keep talking to TPC's a major. It's not. There's only 4 majors. And Augusta is invitation. So we'll write down. U.S. Open is qualifying around the world, around the United States for sure, and then the British Opens are qualifying around the world. And then you've got your PGA, which is only pros. So there's 4 distinct courses being played all at the same time, and they all have their justifications, I guess you'd call it, you know. But I just think the U.S. Open has for years just been a torture chamber for anybody but the best.
In some ways, the PGA is almost like the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah.
If somebody has won the Masters in the U.S. Open or the British, a lot is riding on the PGA. If they're not, some years it's kind of an afterthought.
Right, yeah.
Well, there you have it. The differences among the 4 majors, and I guess, as the French say, vive la différence. And we'll be back.
C'est la vie.
Or c'est la vie. C'est la guerre. We'll be back with more Inside Golf in just a moment.
The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list.
I knew I wanted to be like my dad and be a PGA member. Following him around as a kid, I would get to see the players. I didn't really know them, but they knew me because I was Davis's son. We lost him too early. Coming up the 18th fairway at Winged Foot, knowing that I'd won the PGA Championship, and then to see the rainbow, and everybody associated that rainbow with my dad watching over me. I'd like to thank him for just instilling in me what it means to be a professional and be a PGA member.
The best stories end in thanks. Share your story at ThanksPGAPro.com.
Well, before we leave and say goodbye to LedgeRock here in Moulton, Pennsylvania, we're going to take a look at a very quiet little retreat. It's called Cole Lodge, and here to tell us about it is Tyler Henry, who is the clubhouse manager and director of membership. This is quite an idyllic little setting, and it gets a lot of use, doesn't it?
It sure does. Thank you very much. So this building, I'll give you a little history on it. This was acquired by the club when they first purchased the land in 2003. We transformed the building quite a bit, and now it serves as an overnight accommodations area. Can sleep up to 8 people. There's 4 bedrooms. We have a chef come down, cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you'd like. We've seen anything from private 2-person anniversary dinners to 50-person bridal showers in this area. Definitely get a lot of use from our non-resident and national members.
I was going to say, you probably have how many national members here at LedgeRock?
We just approved a few the other day. We are up to 15 national members at the club, so that's anybody who lives over 100 miles. And then we also have roughly 30 non-resident members as well. So that's anybody over 35 miles from the club. We see that they stay here quite a bit when they're in town. It's a perfect little getaway, and obviously they're just off the 11th green and can head right out and do some golfing while they're here.
And when they're done, come back here, and it's an ideal spot to relax. Not that the clubhouse isn't, but this adds a very special touch, and for first-time visitors here to LedgeRock, I'm sure it's a very special moment. Tyler, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
LedgeRock in Moulton, Pennsylvania, in Berks County. It is a very special place. That's it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Thanks for joining us. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up, and we'll see you next time, right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf, presented by Destination Montco Golf, 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.